Hello everyone. Welcome to the collaborative and learning session. Myself, Rutuja Sopan Muthe. Today, I am going to talk about dental management in patients suffering from hepatitis and COVID, guided by Dr. Bhushan Bhagat. Firstly, we'll talk about hepatitis. Hepatitis refers to an inflammatory condition of the liver. There are total 5 types of hepatitis: hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, of which only hepatitis B is caused by DNA virus. The rest all, that is hepatitis A, C, D, and E, are caused by RNA virus. Hepatitis A and E are transmitted by fecal-oral route, whereas B, C, and D are transmitted through the infected blood. Now we will see the functions of the liver. Liver is one of the main organs in our body. It performs several functions that are bile production, which is essential for digestion, filter of toxins from body, excretion of bilirubin, which is a product of broken down RBC, cholesterol, hormones and drugs, breakdown of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, activation of enzymes which are specialized proteins essential to the body functions, storage of glycogen, minerals and vitamins which are A, D, E and K, synthesis of blood proteins such as albumin, and synthesis of clotting factors. Clinical signs and symptoms of hepatitis are flu-like symptoms are seen, loss of appetite and weight loss is observed, dark and pale stool and dark urine is seen, abdominal pain is observed, yellow skin and eyes are seen, which is also known as icterus, and lastly, fatigue. Diagnosis in hepatitis can be done by taking the case history of the patient. We ask patient about chronic alcohol abuse, repeated blood transfusions, substance abuse, any previous hospitalizations, tobacco smoking, and any current medications. Preoperative investigations such as liver enzymes, SGOT and SGPT, total bilirubin, serum albumin, serum alkaline phosphatase, bleeding time, clotting time, prothrombin time, CT scan, liver biopsy, blood test, total leukocyte count, and serological tests are done. Post-operative management in hepatitis patient can be done by avoiding anesthetic gases like halothane, intravenous vitamin E administration, fresh frozen plasma transfusion, manage blood clot and urine volume, potassium supplement during fluid replacement, precautions and sterilization techniques, sanitization and provision for safe drinking water, careful handling and disposal of used needles, use of safe blood and blood products, good nutrition and bed rest, avoidance of alcohol and hepatotoxic drugs, interferon alpha 2B therapy for 4 to 6 months is given. Oral nucleoside analogs like lamivudine is administered. Some dental implications are high risk groups for HBV infection include staff and patients of hemodialysis center, physicians, surgeons, dentists, paramedical staff, and persons working in the laboratory and blood bank. HBV is transmitted by skin prick with infected and contaminated needles or syringes or through the accidental inoculation of minute quantities of blood during surgical and dental procedures. A role that dentists can play in prevention of hepatitis is by considering each and every patient as a potential carrier of hepatitis. In case of exposure to hepatitis B positive blood, unvaccinated individuals should take immunoglobulin and vaccine as soon as possible after the exposure within 24 hours. A full course of vaccine should be completed. All the dentists should get vaccinated against hepatitis B. Some universal precautions to be taken are all the dental healthcare workers should be vaccinated against hepatitis B virus. Hands should be washed with an antiseptic solution after treating the patients. Cross contamination can be prevented by avoiding touching items which are not in the field of the operation. Gloves should be changed for each patient. Mask with minimum 95% filtration efficiency for particles 3 to 5 micrometer should be used and should be changed for each patient. To prevent hair coming in contact with the operating field, dental health care providers should wear disposable caps. All the instruments should be properly sterilized and clean. And lastly, a protective eyewear should be used by all the dental care providers. Now, our second topic is COVID. The pandemic of novel coronavirus has impacted on all spheres of life. The COVID is known to spread through contact, aerosol, mucosal or respiratory droplets, and possibly by fomite spread. Owing to this form of spread, dentists and maxillofacial surgeons are particularly vulnerable to transmission of COVID due to need for close patient proximity and the type of instrumentation. Owing to COVID stigma, patients may conceal their flu-like symptom or carrier status. You can appreciate the structure of coronavirus, which is crown shape. Some clinical signs and symptoms of COVID are fever more than 100 degree Fahrenheit, dry cough, flu, tiredness, sore throat, diarrhea, headache, body ache, loss of taste, breathlessness. Some protocols followed for COVID patients are first, use of PPE, that is personal protective equipment. The triaging of patient, taking exposure history, classifying procedure as emergency, urgency, and elective is the need of the hour. For elective and condition that can be managed with remote contact like pharmacological telephonic consultation can be done. Procedure that require airway management, arresting bleeding, patient who need drainage of infection that is resistant to antibiotics, oncosurgery procedures where a delay in surgery can have an impact on survival period can be performed. If the procedure requires immediate treatment, it would be safer to assume them to be COVID-19 positive till proven otherwise and use appropriate guidelines. Conservative treatment mucosal contact, or aerosol generation should be eliminated. Suspected COVID-19 cases shall be treated, if at all, at negative pressure theaters or airborne infection isolation rooms. These all protocols are till 31st May. Changes can be expected as per the WHO and ICMR. Now we will see what is donning and doping of PPE kit. Donning means wearing the PPE kit and doping means removing the PPE kit. We will see the sequence of donning and doping. Sequence of donning is firstly, we should wash the hands properly. Next, wearing gown, then mask, protective eyewear, and last gloves. While doping, we first remove gloves, then gown, then protective eyewear, mask, and then we wash the hands. Protocols followed for COVID patients are: patient may be admitted at least 48 hours prior to the procedures. Patients and caregivers may be subjected to COVID-19 screening tests. Additionally, patients shall undergo CT scan. Once admitted, they may be refrained from moving out of the hospital premises. Admitted rooms shall be subjected to regular sanitization. Visitors, if any, may be temporarily prevented from visiting patients as their interaction may increase the risk of infection. Patients and attenders should practice social distancing and wear masks continuously. After discharge, patient's health status may be followed at regular intervals for at least a month to ensure that they remain free from COVID-19. After treatment, sterilization and disinfection should be followed. In addition, hand hygiene practice, surgical mask, protective shields, disinfection of surfaces with 1% sodium hypochlorite need to be ensured. These are some references. S.M. Balaji Textbook of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Anil K. Tripathi Essentials of Medicine and for Dental Students, Hindavi the International Journal of Dentistry, and Surgical Das Textbook of Surgery. Thank you.